Sharon, hi, how are you? It's great to see you and delighted to have you on board for the event. I hope you don't mind travelling all the way down south of the county to Donegal town.
Away from Inishowen. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not an Inishowen native.
No, I'm from Sligo originally. So you're kind of taking me homewards.
Writing, I have found, has been very powerful for some people. But and that is obviously why we have brought you on board. You weren't always the writer. You started life somewhere completely different. Tell us just a wee snapshot of where you were.
I started my life off really as a primary school teacher. So I was the teacher to start with, and I was a teaching principal as well. So I was kind of trying to juggle lots of things, and writing happened upon me, really. I had no idea that it was in me or that it needed to come out. And I suppose that's why I'm passionate about introducing people to the power of writing and what it can do for them. So I I came upon this quite by accident. I started blogging after a family, I suppose you would call a tragedy in my life. So I was writing to heal or to blurb it all, get it all out there. And so when I talk to people, I say, this all happened to me by accident. And it was a happy accident and a healing accident. And I feel well when I write. So I like to introduce people to that aspect of writing.
Before we started the recording, I said to you, like for so long, I nearly had a fear of paper because if I started writing, I wouldn't know where to stop. So would you come across that, because you lead workshops and things like that, would you come across something like that with participants?
Yes, I would. There's a great fear in starting or that blank page. And I think every writer has that fear. And also the fear of, like when I started off, I didn't tell anyone I was writing at all. I beavered away and no one was any the wiser. And then slowly I got a little bit of confidence and a little bit of confidence. So you don't have to start off thinking, oh, I'm going to write my memoir, I'm going to write my book. It can be just as simple as I'm going to write whatever comes out. And I know people are worried that they won't stop, but it's funny, as I call it, the magic, everything in my life is magic, but the magic does make you stop and you don't. I know people worry they'll get too emotional or, that it's too harsh or too hard for them or too difficult. But it's funny, it just works for people. If you feel led to write, it will work. It will work for you.
The workshop then, that's obviously an area that I know you were giving a presentation to, and I don't want to put that aside and make it any less important, because it's not, because I'm dying to hear your presentation on the day. And it's just for what people can expect, the type of things you dip in and out of in a workshop.
Fun, informative, and we'll cover what story is. We'll cover a little bit of poetry. Because of my talk beforehand, I'll cover journaling, blogging, self-publishing, and if people are interested in knowing how to go forward and get published, that'll be covered briefly as well. But it's really just to get people to feel the power of their own words and to feel the power of getting something onto a page. So it's all about empowerment and fun. And I know that I should say, as a writer, we're going to do great literary works, but technically, or I'm not worried. I just want people to have fun on the day and to start writing.
Do you find people will write like full sentences or just jot down bullet points, or because I know everybody's style will be different?
Again, everyone does it differently. There's no right and wrong way, especially with journaling. You can start. I used to encourage even children in the school to have a good, like what I called a good hardback book, that they, the way you were saying about your fancy notebook. And I just literally would say to them, just, this is your journal time, so go get it. It could be scribbles, it could be doodles. It was whatever was in their little head at the time. And a lot of them did huge amount of work in that. You know, they figured, oh, this is my kind of DOS time. So one of the ways I would say to people is, like, you know, the way they talk about meditation now and mindfulness and all of that, sometimes journaling can come into that, where you just, I'm not qualified in either, but if you take your journal and you just free writing, just let it out, let it flow.
Yeah.
And I know people are worried then, oh, what if so and so reads it? So I mean, you probably need to be careful about things like that, you know, that you keep it safe, or you keep it without names, maybe, if you need to. But I think just letting it out is the important thing, and it will should heal, because I found it so healing, so empowering, and I really hope that people start letting it out, and words is a good way.
And I have no doubt on the day that your words will actually inspire, and that you will cause that little light bulb to go off with a lot of people.
Looking forward to it too, because a lot of my work is online. So like, and it's almost, I wouldn't say impersonal, but you know, you're that bit detached from people when you're online, because I run an online writing group. And so I'm really looking forward to meeting people face to face and talking about the power of words face to face, basically. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And you are online a lot as Sharon T. Writer.
That's me.
That's where they will find you. So they can have a look online ahead of the event and see what you're up to there, and follow you, and dip into your Twitter and your Facebook and Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a great Instagrammy person yet. I do for my pen name, which I might talk about on the day as well. But it'll all be surrounding yourselves in words and fun, and nothing too heavy.
And no doubt you'll have some of your books with you on the day too. Hopefully, you can bring some down.
I'll bring some down. Actually, one of them is called The Healer, which I think is ironic in a way, or
yes.
It's not about me either. It's about the people who come to the workshop. So it's all about them and their words and their writing on the day anyway. So that's where we'll be focusing. So it'll be.
And just in case any of them are worried, like, we will have some pens and paper there for them, but if they want to bring their own wee journal with them. Yeah.
Or even a laptop. Sometimes people prefer to bring and type.
I never thought of that. Yeah.
If it's safe, if they feel safe enough bringing their good laptop, they're very welcome to bring it as well. And again, you don't have to share. It's just prompt and discussion of story, and somewhere to start with their own writing. If they're further along, we can talk about how they might like to get published, or where they might get published, and what might suit them. Explore a bit of that if we've got time, and if people are at that stage. So it will all depend on the day.
Thank you so much for doing this video recording, and it is still Christmas. So taking time out of your Christmas schedule, you're very good. And we look forward to seeing you on the day.